YouTube. Anthony on Power Rangers, the Lost Galaxy fan film with a brand new PR Lost Galaxy 2014 review. So, belatedly, after Halloween, we got yet another Spawn figure to review for Mortal Kombat 11. With my review on McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Bloody Spawn, which is one of the many skins that Spawn had in the game, where you got all these blood squibs on his chest and his battle axe, and part of his gauntlet glove. So this figure is like my third MK11 Spawn figure now in a row, following Commando Spawn and the gold colored Spawn. So let's look at this variant, and because since Halloween came and passed at this recording, but though this review was filmed on Halloween, but you won't get it until November, somewhere in November, if I can squeeze this video in before I put out my more major thing before the end of 2025. So I really feel as though that I'm gotten almost every figure based on Spawn from MK11, because like so far you got Commando Spawn, and Commando Spawn, and then this gold colored Spawn so far from the game, and Spawn in general, because Spawn is one of my favorite anti-hero characters and all, and knowing I like him in Mortal Kombat 11, and I even liked him prior to that in like Soul Calibur 2 as a guest character on the OG Xbox version. Let's put these figures of Spawn away. There'll be plenty more variants like Lord Covenant Spawn and all these other variations of Spawn in MK11. So here's the front of the package for what this bloody Spawn looks like, with all this amount of gore and blood, because this figure is definitely not for kids. This is for us grown-ups and grown-ups only. And then here's a control art render of Spawn from the game with all that blood like on the figure, and then the action figure render from the back of Spawn with as he's marching to kill someone with that battle axe, MK11 logo on the side. And there you go. So now let's take a look at Bloody Spawn. Okay, now that we got Bloody Spawn out of the package, he only has two accessories. You got your base stand with the Mortal Kombat logo, and then his battle axe. Now his battle axe is so fucking badass. Look at all that detail and paint, all this paint and detail on the axe with the blood out of the game, but I'm just like, oh my god, and then also Spawn's green eyes on the axe, which on the front and the back of the axe, which, oh my goodness, because now this is like my third battle weapon thing that I got for every single figure of Spawn so far, because when you think about all the accessories that each Spawn figure came from, I got from that gold label gold Spawn, this this baton stick with these hard as fuck spikes, which I've already went over from his figure, and then from Commando Spawn and probably other figures of Spawn, a flame gun from Commando Spawn. So now the battle axe of Spawns is like my third Spawn related weapon in a row for my collection, because now that I've got like guns, a baton, and an axe, because I really felt like, okay, so I almost got all of Spawn's arsenal straight from hell in Malabolgia at my disposal for him to have to kill whoever in Mortal Kombat's universe, because these are all based on Spawn's appearance in Mortal Kombat. Now let's take a look at his figure, because this is just the same as when we get when I get all of the remaining figure variants of Spawn from MK11. So here's how his head is, like in the game, like Spawn always looked like. And you can see a little bit of crevice of his mouth, his lips a little bit in this. Even the light is picking up on it. And then I like the way how rubber his collars, his cape is. His cape is the same about material. I do mind this caramel brown type of color on Spawn's costume, because this is like the type of figure, like, when you think about like metals, like gold for like, like those gold members, and this is bronze, or something like that, like bronze, gold. Wait until I get a Spawn that has a silver cape, and then it's like, in terms of tiers, like, this is bronze level Spawn and this is gold level Spawn. When you think about this crap, if I had a silver one on the side, but okay, let's put the gold Spawn away. But then just look at also the detail on now the figure itself. You have like the amount of gloss, the gloss paint detail of blood on his chest. Like, look at the blood, people. Even blood on his ammunition holster on his leg, and like look at the blood on there too, and then blood on his gauntlet glove too. So I was just like, oh my, this is a badass, incredible figure. If only there was a bloody variant of like Commando Spawn or Lord Covenant Spawn that could have been made for this game. So let's take a look at, well, actually, before that, articulation. I keep forgetting. I'm jumping ahead because it's just wicked cool how they really made this. Todd McFarlane had his toy company do his character that's incorporated as a guest in MK11 to have all this blood on it. Now, if they added too much blood to the figure, I don't know how certain people will take, but again, this is not a kid's toy. This is for grown-ups. So, and as a grown-up myself, I really love this figure. I really like how it's very faithful to the game. Now, imagine there was a figure of Spawn where they had like bullet holes to his chest from being killed, nearly having those fatalities and stuff like in the game, and and if there was lightning effects to simulate blood. But no, I think that would be a bit too graphic to sell for toys, in that type of market. But for what it's worth and what this figure is worth, it's I'll take it as long as it makes sense to Mortal Kombat and Spawn respectively. So his head, like the other figures, it can only go this way because due to the fact, actually for this figure, why did I not do this with the other ones? You can actually turn Spawn's head all around, but I just didn't do it on the other figures. Like for instance, I didn't do this on the gold label Spawn last time, turning his head all the way around. So yeah, I did not do this on the other two figures I reviewed of him. Why did I not do that? Okay, then in terms of his elbow crunch is up to here, but this is as far as elbows can go in terms of crunching, that is. And then turn his elbow up and do the crunch there. His abdomen, let's see, his abdomen crunch is, this is as far as you can go with the abdomen on this one, unfortunately. You can spread the legs, at least. You can spread them legs and knee. Okay, now let's go for the knee crunch. Knee crunch is a little stiff on this leg. Let's see. Nope. I almost got the whole knee to bend both, the upper leg and the lower leg, but I guess it won't do it on this figure. I don't know why. But I did it on the other ones, and also got to be careful about these spikes, because you know how Spawn loves to poke me with them spikes on his legs and arms. I really got to be careful with that. So, here is the knee crunch on that leg. But I don't know why I can't get it on this leg. So, but nevertheless, this is an all-right addition to the figure, and I really liked how this figure came out, as opposed to, well, I'm not saying that this is a better figure, because my favorite is still Commando Spawn from the game and also from these toys. So, but there are other variations, but once I get more variations of Spawn from MK11, once I got all the Spawn, then I'm going to do every other character for Mortal Kombat 11's line of figures, and see how that goes. Now, the figure can stand a little bit well without the display piece. The display piece is just ancillary. Even if I do need this, no, the figure can stand on its own, just as is. So that's it for my review on Bloody Spawn. This wasn't going to be a quick review because there's not much to talk about this figure. It's the same as every other variation of MK11 Spawn, but just different color and different aesthetic. And that is really awesome. But also the Battle Axe is the new accessory that I also got to point out, and that's what gives this figure a plus. So there you go. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.